Audio 5. As we accepted God's call for us, we had no clear idea of what would our lives will be like. New language, new customs, new laws, everything would be different. It was the morning of July 21st, 2008. The three big suitcases were at the door. All of my in-laws now are all together, praying and wondering about the day that we would see each other again. My son John Victor, without much understanding, received everyone's tight hugs and kisses. On the day of Guarulhos Airport in Campinas, on our way, we would hardly imagine what awaited us. We left our comfort zone life in the country we knew, things and people that were our friends and emotional support, and left with having just our captain, the Lord Jesus, in front of us. Our first challenge was the arrival of immigration in the immigration department in the airport of Miami. The consular agent asked for our passports and opened mine first, then my son. Startled, looked at the documents and said, "There is an error in the documents." And I asked, "What mistake? What error?" He didn't respond, but he was analyzing the passports for about 3 minutes. It seemed like an eternity for me when he said, "Your son's passport says F2, dependent of Ronaldo de Moraes, but your visa says F1 student. Your child should be your dependent and not your spouse." I said then, "My husband is also authorized for a student F1 visa." Then he said, "What do you mean? The two of you? This is not very common." That made me a little confused, but I can see here that your husband also has F1. He began to process the information, confirmed that everything was right, and allowed us to enter the country. He stamped our passport with the date, July 22nd, 2008. For about 3 days, we stayed at the house of a dear friend and her husband in Miami. We had a great time there. We were welcomed cheerfully by the couple. On the second day, my sister joined us for a visit. She was staying in the U.S. to learn English. After that, we proceeded to Hattiesburg, Mississippi, where the university was located. We paid our first monthly fee in the international department, and a few days later, we started to study. We met Brazilian Adventist friends who went to Saturday service in the Hispanic church. We found an apartment near the school in a lovely daycare school for little JV, who was only 3 years old. I remember those first months. We started our new routine, made friendship with friends from all over the world in the university. We felt like missionaries in a distant land. You know, dear friends, we have a God who communicates with his children in different ways, but one thing that a sincere child of the Lord will never have is a routine. The reason is because the Lord works to reach you and everyone around you. He permits changes in your life so that he can use you. Getting used to the routine of the world is dangerous. Romans 12:2 says, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but transform yourself by the renewing of your mind, so that you will be able to experience and prove God's good and pleasant, perfect will for you." Soon, the Lord will make major changes in this scenario, and other great experiences would come. God is so good. He constantly creates options for his children to renew and come closer to him. Why not allow this situation that we live in today's life to be an agent of God's transformation in your life?